The pandemic may have been 6 years ago, but a lot of people are thinking we're going to be getting another one sometime in the future, as there's a virus that's currently going around called the hantavirus that has been making headlines and waves all across social media as so many people are talking about it, and now here I am talking about it. Now, before you freak out and before you rush to the store and start buying toilet paper and masks, just listen. The whole situation starts on a cruise ship that left Argentina and made its way through the South Atlantic Ocean and made its way to the North Atlantic Ocean, where it eventually stopped for a while because it was confirmed that on the boat there were people who were dying because of the hantavirus that was going around. It originally started with an elderly Dutchman who contracted the virus and shortly passed away, and then the man's wife also contracted the virus, but unfortunately she got on a plane that had confirmed 88 passengers on it, and then after the plane landed on the way to her next flight, she unfortunately passed away as well. And then after that, on the cruise ship, 2 people fell ill. One of them unfortunately died, and there was one other person on the cruise ship, a British man who had contracted the virus, but he received intensive care in a hospital in South Africa, and they did confirm that he did have the disease. And after it was confirmed that there was an outbreak on the virus, the cruise was left stranded, or I shouldn't say stranded, but it was just sitting out there in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean while this virus was going around. And this is when it started to get a lot of attention, specifically because of a video that a man posted who was on the cruise ship, and he said things like, we're not just news stories, we're not just headlines, these are real people, we have lives, things like that. And a lot of people started to respond, and the majority of people, like the majority of responses that I saw were people being like, stay on that fucking cruise ship, do not allow that ship to dock, we cannot afford another pandemic, like we just got over one, we are not willing to live through another one, so keep those people out in the ocean where the virus cannot start spreading on the mainland. But despite that being the popular consensus, Spain actually allowed the ship to dock at one of their islands. I think the name is Cape Verde, I most definitely butchered that, where they allowed some sick passengers and other passengers to evacuate the ship. But unfortunately, it doesn't end there, as there were people on this cruise ship who did get off earlier before, they pretty much quarantined the ship and left it out at sea. As there is a confirmed case of an elderly man in Switzerland who has the virus, there's another man in Israel who has it, and there is also someone in America and many other countries who have confirmed to have the virus. And the World Health Organization, I think I said earlier, has got involved, and they have officially declared that there is an outbreak of it. Now, all of that sounds really bad. I'm right there with you. When I first heard about this story, when I heard about those people on the cruise ship, and I heard about this story, or the virus, going around, I was like, God damn it, here we go again, 2020 lockdowns part 2, the sequel that no one asked for. I don't know if I'm ready for it. Hell, GTA 6 comes out in November. Hopefully that makes things better. Let's fucking run it again. It's not like we got any other choice. But with this situation, there is some really good news. The virus itself does not spread that easily, as it's primarily spread through rats, or more particularly inhaling particles of rat feces, which and also coming into contact with infected rat saliva or being bitten by an infected rat or other rodents. And typically the virus isn't transmissible from human to human. It mainly is spread to humans from infected rats. But the strand of the virus that's currently going around is called the Andes virus, which unfortunately is the strand of the disease that can spread from person to person. The virus itself isn't that transmissible. You're actually more likely to get struck by lightning than to contract the disease. The thing that has people freaking out is this virus is super deadly. Like, it is very fatal. It has a fatality rate between 35 to 50% in the most severe cases, which is really fucking bad, don't get me wrong. But the good thing is that not only is the virus, like I said earlier, not easily transmissible between humans, but the World Health Organization is working to try and get this disease under control, and I really hope they fucking do, because if this shit starts spreading around the globe like COVID, I'ma be pissed, because I got 2 concerts that I'm going to this year, and those tickets were not fucking cheap, let me tell you. And I would hate for this virus to get out and have it rain all over my future parade. Now, the other thing that has people really concerned is the fact that the incubation period for this virus, or how long it takes for symptoms to show up, is 1 to 8 weeks. Which means that if hypothetically you started showing symptoms for the virus, chances are you've had that shit since March. So the people that got off the ship, the people that didn't report feeling sick or ill whatsoever, could very well have the disease. It's a very real possibility because, again, the incubation period is just so long, which means that in the coming weeks we may see an increase in the number of cases. But again, the virus itself is not that contagious. It does not spread easily from person to person, like I said a few minutes ago. So that is the good news, but the bad news with the virus being very deadly and the fact that, you know, the incubation period is so long, that's what's got people freaked out. And that's what had me freaked out when I first heard about this news. And it also really had me questioning, why the fuck did they let those people off the damn boat? Like, the fucking, who was it, Spain? They for real saw this boat that had 140 people on it, I think it was, where there was clearly an outbreak of a very deadly disease that had a fatality rate between 35 to 50%, and the incubation period was up to 8 weeks long. They looked at both of those factors and were like, yeah, sure, let them off the boat. You know, this can't possibly backfire. You know, it's not like we've had a pandemic recently or anything. Now, I'm not saying that we should have like launched an airstrike on the boat and just bombed it into the depths of the ocean like some other people are saying, but all I'm saying is we should have left that boat out at sea. Now, I know that sounds kind of fucked up. Obviously, you know, we should be, you know, taking care of them. We should be providing them with food and, you know, health services because there's an outbreak of a deadly virus on there. But at the same time, we cannot or should not have risked, because, you know, Spain for some reason let them fucking dock and they let all the passengers on the boat go home, or at least most of them. We should not have risked the potential of this virus getting out there, because we all saw how people reacted to COVID 6 years ago, a virus with a 1% fatality rate, mind you, nowhere near as deadly as this one. People were fucking running to the stores and fighting each other over damn toilet paper, and they were hoarding stuff and collecting fucking food and supplies in mass like the damn apocalypse was upon us. And the entire world at the time was put on hold for a while, all over COVID. And again, that virus wasn't that deadly, at least in comparison to the hantavirus. Could you imagine if the hantavirus started fucking spreading everywhere and we had to go back to lockdowns and quarantine again? Like, just picture that for a second. We'd probably be in lockdown for fucking years. So that's why I'm saying they should have just kept those people on the boat until they were damn sure that that virus was gone for good, and then they could start bringing people back. And I know, like I said earlier, there was that one video of that guy who said, like, you know, we're not just news stories, we're not just headlines, these are real people. And I do feel bad for that guy, but at the same time, we're people too. Like, people on the mainland, we don't want to be going back to quarantine. We don't want to potentially get this super deadly illness, and we just should not have made the gamble that this disease wouldn't either, like, you know, mutate and start easily spreading between humans, or just not risk the potential of it spreading at all. It was just such a stupid ass decision. I don't know what the hell the people who made it were thinking. And now, because of their moronic decision making, we now have the potential of another pandemic. So, fuck. Now, do I think this is going to turn into another pandemic? No. If I had to guess, this is probably going to be another Ebola situation back in, like, what was it, 2014, 2015? Where, like, it's going to get a lot of news coverage, a lot of people are going to freak out, but eventually in the near future, it's going to die down. The World Health Organization is going to get it under control, and then eventually it'll just be a thing of the past. And I really hope what I just said does not age poorly in the coming months. I'd hate to look back on this video like 6 to 7 months from now, this virus gets out of control and we're back into quarantine again, and just watching this video and be like, man, if only I knew. But anyway, that's going to do it for the video. Thank you for watching. And yeah, peace.